I think I'm going to read part of chapter 1 and part of chapter 2. It's a split mother-daughter story. So chapter 1 is from Zara's perspective, and then chapter 2 is from her daughter's perspective. And chapter 1 takes place in Cairo, July 1986. Right at this point, so all we know so far is that there's this young woman, high school age, who's sneaking into her lover's house. We don't know who her lover is. We've heard a lot about this Ahmed family. They're sort of a rich family that lives near her, but that's sort of all we know. Is she's about to climb this wall and sneak into their house. Everything will be revealed after that. Climbing the wall was only one way into the house, but first Zara needed a distraction. She tiptoed to the gate, where a doorbell allowed the rare caller to request entry into paradise, and pressed the bell with a shaking finger. Then she ran around the perimeter of the wall as fast as she could, a mouse in a maze. A woman's voice called at the gate, but by then Zara had already turned the corner and found the foothold she knew like the steps of a waltz. Her hands shook with every grasp, and the strength in her legs faded and returned, but still she climbed. Only once did she fall, one hand secured in a hole while her body dangled like bait. In that moment, she swayed like a pendulum between the broken leg or a soft embrace. "Inshallah," she whispered, ready to accept what God willed. Then her right foot found a foothold, and she climbed over the ledge like a spider and down the hot stones on the sunny side of the wall. Once her feet kissed the ground, the scent of Mrs. Ahmed's garden hit her like a slap. In the moonlight, the flowers had been shadows, their petals less fragrant, their faces towards the vanished sun. Her hands now brushed a pink peony, and satin petals moved against her fingertips. She waded through the bushes and tall flowers, careful not to crush a single stalk under her sneakers. When she arrived at the servants' quarters, a woman who must have been Tavia, the Ahmed's cook, was leaving the house through the back door with a basket on one arm. From stories, Zara knew that Tabia was rude, insolent, and often quick-tempered, but she made the best meat dishes in all of Cairo. Once the cook took a few steps into the ray of sunlight, she stretched her arms out wide as though she wanted to capture the sun in her basket and cook it for dinner, and her narrow eyes squinted even further in the light. An apron halved her body,